Many thanks for joining us on Business Now. My name is Perpetual Fast on Repeater. Nigeria's gross domestic product GDP grew by 2.25% year-on-year in the third quarter of 2022, marking the slowest growth since the COVID-19 pandemic. This information is according to the latest GDP report by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS. According to the NBS, the slow growth is attributable to the base effects of the recession and the challenging economic conditions that have impeded productive activities. The Q3 2022 growth rate decreased by 1.78 percentage points from the 4.03% growth rate recorded in Q3 2021 and 1.29 percentage points relative to 3.54% in Q2 2022. The sector recorded minus 22.67% year-on-year as of third quarter 2022, indicating a decrease of 11.94 percentage points relative to the rate recorded in the corresponding quarter of 2021. Also, the growth rate decreased by 10.91 percentage points compared to the 11.77% contraction recorded in the previous period. On the other hand, the non-oil sector grew by 4.27% in real terms during the reference quarter, which is the third quarter of 2022. The rate was lower by 1.18 percentage points compared to the rate recorded same quarter of 2021 and 0.50 percentage points lower than the second quarter of 2022. The economic crunch is biting manufacturers, oil and gas firms, as well as services rendering companies in Africa's most populous nation, whose growth tumbled in the third quarter of 2022. The decline was attributable to the base effects of the recession and the challenging economic conditions that impeded productive activities. Hence, the Nigerian economy slowed by 1.78% between the third quarter of 2021 and the corresponding period of 2022. In the quarter under review, aggregate GDP stood at 52.255 trillion naira in nominal terms, which was higher than 45.113 trillion naira reported in the third quarter of 2021. However, real growth, which is not nominal, is the true reflection of the economy, and it makes room for inflation adjustment. Isaac Adejumo, head of investment, Skyview Limited, shared his view earlier today on iBrand Business Breakfast.
Is contributing, is growing, because it's about knowledge-based sector. It's knowledge, so it's about skill sector. So there is need to improve the support and the education, improve the education, awareness, skill, support, people, high-tech individuals, youths. You can see that many of our youths, especially the financial services, they were moving out of the country where they can get higher package in terms of pay. So there's incentives to the sector to attract talents so that people that have skills, they can begin to continue to improve that sector. And you know, it employs a lot. When you talk of ICT, what you and I are doing now is about ICT. There is need for incentive to grow skills in that sector, attract youths to the sector. In the universities, colleges, polytechnics, put more funding to the research to encourage people so that people will know that once they get this kind of skill, they have something tangible to offer, which can give them tangible earnings. And of course, it will impact positively on the economy of the country.
The Project Coordination Unit of the Economic Community of West African States has provided fruit fly surveillance materials and phytosanitary equipment to the federal government to help restart the export of selected fruits from Nigeria. ECOWAS said the technology would reduce fruit flies infestation on Nigerian farms as well as cut down the loss of fruits and vegetables across the country. The Commissioner for Economic Affairs and Agriculture, ECOWAS, Masanj Toure, disclosed this in Abuja on Thursday while presenting the equipment to the Federal Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development. He explained that the equipment and materials donation was aimed at reinforcing and strengthening the performances of the surveillance system as well as the phytosanitary inspection teams in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development for fruit flies monitoring and control. The presence of long queues and crowds at bus stops across states indicates the biting reality of worsening petrol scarcity in the country. On the back of this, an oil and gas expert, Bala Zaka, has advocated that to stop this, Nigeria needs to look at reducing its import dependency. Speaking on IBrandTV's Business Breakfast on Friday, he said the situation the country is facing can be traced to importation.
Experience this, and I know that it is going to get worse. But the reasons are not far-fetched. It is very clear that our country leaders have insisted, or are finding it comfortable, that we should remain an import-dependent country, especially when it comes to refined petroleum products. Because I'm telling you this because I know that if a government of a country wants to do something, that government can do it. The government of our country wants election to hold in 2023. And as I speak to you now, nobody can stop election from holding in 2023. So in like manner, if our country leaders want our refineries to work, if they want us to stop importation, if they want us to have abundant petrol, abundant diesel, kerosene and aviation fuel, no Jupiter can stop it. I mean, we have always said that they are using the wrong model. You can see that they are very comfortable with it. The model must be, we must make sure that the first thing that happens is we refine internally. Secondly, we must also make sure that we are those exporting refined petroleum products. Because all oil-producing nations, whether they are OPEC members or non-OPEC members, this is their period of boom.
Yes.
They are refining and processing these good products and are making them or crystallizing them into refined products. And they are making so much money. But it is only in Nigeria that we are importing close to about 70 million liters per day. I tell you, recently I had a discussion and somebody from an international finance body said even if we refine internally, the highest we are going to save will be like 10 naira per liter. And I said, okay, if there will even be savings, that means if we were importing or are importing 70 million liters per day, multiply that by the savings of 10 naira. That means every day we are going to save 70 million liters multiplied by 10 naira. That will be 700 million naira per day. Multiply the savings by a week, per month, and per year.
Still to come, Pakistan's central bank raises key rate by 100 basis points to 16%. Details and more news update after this commercial break.